Welcome to World Prism. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon for more breaking updates. Here's a headline for the history books. Americans are siding with Canada against their own president. In a moment that few could have predicted, the stars and stripes are waving in solidarity with the maple leaf, as citizens across the United States take a stand. In a rare twist, frustration over tariffs has united Americans across party lines. People who rarely agree on anything are now finding common ground, coming together in rallies and online forums to voice their support for Canada. President Trump's trade war with Canada has hit home, raising grocery bills and hurting local businesses. From small-town shop owners to families in big cities, the impact is being felt everywhere as prices climb and shelves empty out. Suddenly, Americans are paying attention to Canadian politics, even praising Prime Minister Mark Carney's steady leadership. For many, it's the first time they've tuned in to speeches from Ottawa, searching for hope and stability north of the border. News about Canada is making headlines in places like Ohio and Michigan. Local papers are running front-page stories about the trade dispute, and talk radio is buzzing with debates about the future of US-Canada relations. The tariffs have turned a quiet friendship into a political flashpoint. What was once a seamless border is now a symbol of tension, with increased security and uncertainty for travelers and businesses alike. Americans are questioning why their government is punishing a close ally. Coffee shop conversations and town hall meetings are filled with confusion and concern as people wonder what's really at stake. The anger isn't just about economics, it's about fairness and common sense. Many feel that targeting Canada, a country with shared values and history, simply doesn't add up. For the first time, many are openly rooting for Canada. Maple leaf pins are popping up on backpacks and jackets, and rallies in support of Canadian workers are drawing crowds in cities across the US. This isn't just a trade dispute, it's a test of a deeply intertwined relationship. The flow of goods, people, and ideas across the border is being challenged, and both nations are feeling the strain. The White House has managed to do the impossible, make Americans cheer for another country's government. In living rooms and sports bars, people are applauding Canadian resolve and leadership. The tariffs are cutting into daily life, and people are fed up. From higher grocery bills to rising utility costs, the effects are impossible to ignore, and patience is wearing thin. What was once a taken-for-granted friendship is now front-page news. The US-Canada relationship, long seen as unbreakable, is suddenly at the center of a national conversation. Americans are asking, why are we fighting our closest neighbor? The question echoes from kitchen tables to Capitol Hill, as citizens and lawmakers alike search for answers. And as the drama unfolds, the world is watching this unprecedented shift. The outcome will shape not just trade, but the future of one of the world's closest alliances. The US-Canada relationship is massive. 2.7 billion in goods and services cross the border every single day. This isn't just a number on a spreadsheet, it's a living, breathing connection that powers two nations. Every hour, thousands of trucks, trains and planes move back and forth, carrying everything from auto parts to fresh produce, electronics to energy. The border is more than a line, it's an economic artery. This isn't just trade, it's a lifeline for millions of jobs on both sides. In factories, warehouses, and offices, people depend on this flow to put food on the table and keep their communities thriving. The ripple effect touches nearly every sector: manufacturing, agriculture, technology, and retail. Supply chains are so integrated that a car part might cross the border half a dozen times before it's sold. Each crossing adds value, supporting jobs and innovation in both countries. It's a dance of precision and trust, built up over decades. Canada sends 75% of its exports to the US, and vice versa. This partnership is the backbone of North American prosperity, fueling growth and opportunity from coast to coast. Disrupting this flow isn't just risky, it's self-destructive. Even a brief interruption can send shockwaves through supply chains, causing delays, shortages, and lost income for families and businesses alike. It's not just about numbers, it's about people, truck drivers, factory workers, farmers. These are the faces behind the trade, the ones who feel every policy change and border delay in their daily lives. Communities along the border depend on this partnership to survive. Small towns flourish because of cross-border customers, shared resources, and family ties that stretch across the line. When tariffs hit, it's not just a Washington issue, it's personal for families and businesses. A single policy decision can mean layoffs, closed shops, and dreams put on hold. For decades, this relationship was a model of stability and mutual benefit. Leaders on both sides worked together, knowing that cooperation meant prosperity for all. Now that stability is being shattered. Trade tensions and political disputes are putting everything at risk, creating uncertainty where there was once trust. The daily handshake has turned into a clenched fist. What was once routine is now a source of anxiety and frustration for countless people. People are realizing how much they relied on this quiet prosperity. The loss is more than economic. It's a blow to the sense of security and shared purpose. The shockwaves are being felt everywhere. From big cities to rural towns, everyone is watching and wondering what comes next. Americans and Canadians alike are asking, why are we risking so much? What's worth jeopardizing decades of progress and friendship? The disruption is a wake-up call. It's a reminder that what connects us is fragile and must be protected if we want to keep thriving together. And the anger is growing on both sides. The future of this partnership hangs in the balance, and the choices we make now will shape generations to come. What's this trade war really about? On the surface it's about tariffs and taxes, but beneath it all it's a story of politics, power, and the ripple effects that touch everyday lives. President Trump has slapped huge tariffs on Canadian steel, aluminum, cars, lumber, and copper. These aren't just numbers on a spreadsheet, they're real products that fuel industries on both sides of the border. The justification? National security, a claim that baffles many since Canada is America's closest ally. For decades, the two countries have shared not just a border, but deep economic ties and mutual trust. Steel and aluminum tariffs doubled to 50%, auto tariffs at 25%. These numbers mean higher costs for manufacturers, and, ultimately, for consumers. Lumber and copper hit hard, too. Canadian timber and minerals are essential for American homes, electronics, and infrastructure. These aren't luxury goods, they're the backbone of the economy. They build our cities, power our cars, and keep factories running. The auto industry, in particular, is a cross-border assembly line now thrown into chaos. Parts and vehicles cross the border multiple times before reaching the showroom. Construction costs are rising as Canadian lumber gets taxed. Homebuyers and builders are feeling the pinch, with prices climbing and projects delayed. The official reason? To stop fentanyl from Canada, despite data showing almost none comes from there. Experts and law enforcement say the real sources lie elsewhere. The real trigger? Reportedly, a Canadian TV ad quoting Ronald Reagan on free trade, a single commercial sparking a global economic standoff. Millions of jobs and families are caught in the crossfire. From factory workers to small business owners, the uncertainty is spreading. The policy feels impulsive, not strategic. Many are left wondering if there's a plan, or just a series of reactions. It's hurting Americans as much as Canadians. Factories are closing, and communities on both sides are feeling the strain. The logic is thin, but the consequences are real. Prices are rising, shelves are emptying, and uncertainty is everywhere, and the frustration is boiling over. People are demanding answers, but for now, the only certainty is more confusion and hardship ahead. You'd expect a Republican president's policy to have party support, but not this time. The tariffs have sparked rare bipartisan outrage. Democrats are calling the policy reckless, but so are key Republicans like Mitch McConnell. Farmers, manufacturers, and workers are all feeling the pain. Even libertarian Republicans are teaming up with Democrats to try to block the tariffs. The White House is facing a rebellion from its own party. Congress is united in one message: these tariffs are a disaster. The president has picked a fight with Canada and with Congress. Canada isn't backing down. Under Prime Minister Mark Carney, it's fighting back with a bold plan. On September 11th, Carney announced a massive push to make Canada less dependent on the US. The plan: double LNG capacity, build new copper mines, and invest in nuclear power, and a new container port. Canada is building new trade routes to Asia and Europe. It's a declaration of economic independence. The message: if the US won't buy, others will. There are challenges, environmental concerns, indigenous land rights, but Canada is moving forward. This is nation building on a grand scale. Carney is betting Canada can emerge stronger and more self-sufficient. The world is taking notice. Canada is no longer a passive victim, it's an active player. The contrast in leadership is striking. President Trump's approach is chaotic and impulsive: tariffs, tweets, and TV-driven decisions. Prime Minister Carney is calm, strategic, and focused on solutions. He's rolling out detailed plans, not just rhetoric. Americans are noticing, and some are even envious. Carney's steady hand is winning respect even south of the border. He's not playing politics, he's building for the future. The difference is clear: one leader is causing the crisis, the other is managing it. In a time of uncertainty, people crave stability, and right now, Canada's leadership looks like the adult in the room. The US-Canada relationship is at a crossroads. This isn't a minor spat, it's a deep rupture with lasting consequences. Trust is eroding, and the damage could be permanent. Canada is accelerating its pivot to new partners. American businesses risk losing their top customer for good. The political fallout is just as severe: less cooperation, more instability. The US risks isolating itself from its closest ally. Congress is angry, and the country is divided. Even if the policy changes, the scars will remain. Canada has learned not to put all its eggs in one basket. The easy friendship is over. What comes next will be far more complicated and uncertain.